Hey, Crowder, look who showed up. Look who showed up.
Amy, look at her. Oh, she dressed for TV today.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Amy? Actually, so Amy's joining us at the Kaseya Center. That's right. My bad, Amy. I had to turn you up. My bad. We're using a different setup than we normally would. You got me, though?
I got you. Do you have me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Whoa, there's so many buttons and wires. And
a lot going on.
I just sit here and talk.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Perfect timing, Amy, because we were about to do 15 minutes of heat.
Awesome.
That's brought to you. maybe it'll be like 3 minutes of heat. But it's brought to you by my friends at Hollywood Kia. Get the start treatment right now at Hollywood Kia, the number one dealer in all of Florida. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia and shop online at hollywoodkia.com. Crowder, I'm going to start this interview with Amy Audibert with a Niko Jovic question. And he's going to make fun of me because I'm always talking about Niko Jovic. But, Amy, no joke, part of what's going on right now can be attributed, not all of it, but can be attributed to lack of health. And I think Niko Jovic being out is part of it.
No joke at all. It's a coincidence? I think not. Niko was finding this awesome pocket off the bench as the leading scorer, but also the playmaker. His skill set at his size is so rare in this league, to be 6'10" and be able to bust out and see everyone cross-court passes, pushing pace. And he kind of almost embraced that line in the second unit. And it's so important in this league at this point in the season to rely and have consistency in your second lineup. And now, of course, with him going out, but also just shifts in the starting lineup, it's hard to find that consistency in the second lineup. Even guys like Duncan and Haywood, who have kind of been in and out because they were kind of doing it by committee. But yeah, I mean, listen, right now, it's kind of weird to say that you're kind of trying to find your identity in its game, 68, 69, 70. Yeah. So, but Niko was so important when he was out there. And I'm not sure. You'd hope that they can get into the play-in and maybe make a run, and we see Niko again because he's really important to this team.
And Amy, and I don't hate Niko Jovic as Solana tries to paint it.
Not. I'm sorry. Who hates Niko Jovic?
I was going to say,
There's a special place for you.
Solana talks about him like he's Michael Jordan. That's what gets to me. He does it every
Niko,
game.
Amy. You know I love Niko.
He loves
Serbian Michael Jordan.
But Amy, speaking to that point about something that people have got to me in the last couple days, I've heard it on radio. I've heard it. Now I've seen it on TV, watching different shows, getting ready for the show, where people want to put this on Erik Spoelstra, this 8-game losing streak on Erik Spoelstra. It gets to me. What more could Erik do? I don't see the criticism of Erik Spoelstra through this losing streak. Why do people put that on him?
Because you know why? Number one, a lot of people don't know ball, or they're not watching it right enough. They're just looking at it's the longest losing streak of his career right here with the Miami Heat. And so that alone, people are going, oh, that's the easy thing to do. When I look at some of the problems or the issues with the Miami Heat in the last 2 weeks, it's just simply just letting go of the rope on the court at certain times, right? That's not on the coach for someone to go out there and make a play. These guys have the ball in their hands, and that's where the accountability is. Now, listen, has there been inconsistency in terms of the lineups and the rotations? Yes. Has this been a very tumultuous season for many reasons? Yes. And I think that's part of it. That's not blaming him. It's just you can tell that he is trying every single thing he can to get this team going. But you know this, Jenny, as an athlete, at some point you got to put 2 feet on the ground and make a stance. And whether that's just taking a hard foul and stopping a run, or making the extra pass, or attacking with a little bit more force than you've been showing, that's not on the coach. That's not on the coach. And he's given so many guys opportunities. And so I think just searching for the consistency, which is to say at this point in the season, is the tough part. And I think at the end of the day, that's why the Heat are in the position right now, because we're having a conversation about identity and consistency with about 15 games left.
The problem is Crowder, as a professional, had his feet stuck in the ground too often. So it was up to the safeties to cover the tight end, maybe.
My feet were always in the ground, and I was trying to get them off the ground. But unfortunately, some people don't jump high.
Speaking of Spo, Crowder, I forgot to mention this to you. I saw he's throwing out the first pitch at the Light tomorrow. Canes baseball versus FSU. You, of course, are a proud Miami Hurricane, and neither of our teams are in the tourney right now. No FIU, no UM. So we'll take what we can get. You think Spo's got a little power in that fastball? You throwing a little Ched tomorrow, Amy? What do you think?
I'm sure he's going to watch some kind of film or some psycho stuff so that he feels comfortable going into it. But at the same time, I'll say no more. Like Florida State, Miami, I already feel some kind of way about it. So
yeah, Crowder's pumping his chest because his Gators are
oh come on
are in the NCAA
actually
tournament.
I know I've picked them. I think to my 4. And that kills me. Like it really kills me to do that.
Yeah.
Amy, why are people hating on the SEC basketball right now? That's
no. I mean, hating on it. You can't hate on it because there's so many really good teams.
I am actually. I'm hating on it, Amy. I've been hating on it all day. All day.
Can I tell you guys? I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to because in the middle of a heat segment. Let's talk about Florida football. This is my only impression of Florida football. Me and my friend, after we graduated, we went up for the weekend because we knew some football players and they were in training camp. And they were literally after practice coming back to their apartment, like, having some beverages and other things and then going back to the hotel at night. And I was like,
yes,
who does this? Like it is football training camp. It is like the most ridiculous time of the year. And they're like, cool, let's have fun. And I don't know. I was like, they're not about it. They're not about it.
Amy, go Gators. Go Gators is all I have to say.
You'll never get me. You'll never get me there. We pregame like you party. You can't even compare Gainesville to South Beach.
It's funny because right now all of Dolphins Twitter is very upset because there's video of Tua Tagovailoa out. He was like on a yacht last week, but it's the off season. And Crowder, meanwhile Crowder's this beloved Dolphin and he has his own VIP table still 20 years since he last played at Tootsie's because of how much he was partying during the season.
Hold on. You got that kind of pull?
I mean, to this day, I walk up to the front door of Tootsie's. My man George, he says, Crowder. I said, what's up, bro? Come up. I got my table. Go upstairs to the right by the VIP, behind the bar. I still got a table.
See, I was more of a Hugo on South Beach. If you know Hugo, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was Amy, the fifth crowbar.
The 5th crow. No. Come on. We're talking about Mansion. Mansion. Opium Privé. Opium Privé.
Rest in peace.
Can I just, one more thing? We're getting totally off the rails.
No, don't worry. This is what we do, Amy. Embrace it.
The biggest head night of my life was when, and I'm not going to say which one because I'm not like this. I got hit on by a Backstreet Boy in Opium. And it was like, the best night of my life.
A Backstreet Boy?
Yes, an actual Backstreet Boy. And the one that I was obsessed with, but he was shorter than the freaking profiles. And that's the first thing that came out of my mouth. And it was like, that was a very small conversation after that. But I was like, you are not 6'1".
Jimmy, Google who the shortest Backstreet Boy is, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
No, it wasn't the shortest one. I'm saying he was supposed to be taller than he was, but I have pictures and everything. I don't care. There's very few people I'd get like that with. Come on.
Yeah. That's
Amy,
iconic.
I guarantee that we were in a club together sometime back in the day.
Well, my freshman year was Big Mac was still around. Like Big Mac, Big Mac. So Nevy was my teammate. We're talking about all the local legends.
Big Vern, Frank G. I know all those guys. I guarantee we were in a club together and didn't know it, man.
Crowder was the guy with his shirt off. Well, actually, he was walking in. What are the shirts you used to wear, Crowder?
I would have known that then.
The Affliction shirts. What were the shirts you used to wear to the club?
Oh, the Ed Hardys.
Ed Hardy. He was the guy with the Ed Hardy shirt.
And then when I got a little money, they were Christian Audijays, whatever those damn things were called.
That was the brand, though. That was the brand.
Yeah.
Why can't we just go back to those days?
The Crowder, the questions I had for Amy Audibert were all nonsense anyway, so I'm glad we found out Amy got hit on by a Backstreet Boy. That's iconic. See, this is what we do, right? Amy. This is what we do. Before you go, I was very interested. I wanted to ask you this, whether or not you're on the show. Yesterday, I wake up and it's like 55 degrees in the morning in Kendall. Crowder, by 11, it's 75 again. Mm-hmm. And I was freezing, and I'm like, man, it is freezing outside. Amy, you've been here, 3 years now, or almost 3 years?
Yeah.
You're from Toronto, though. You lived in Canada. Do you like wake up? It's 55, or it's nighttime. It's 55 degrees. Are you a Floridian yet? Are you a South Floridian yet?
Yeah, I'm so embarrassed in that. I felt a little chilly. Here's the thing: I hadn't done laundry for a while, so I had to wear the long sleeve T-shirt to the gym anyways. But as soon as I opened the door, I was like, "Oh!" I felt the chill.
Yeah.
But 2 of my sisters are flying in tomorrow morning, so they'll be the real judges of this. They're
All right.
going to be so excited
All
to
right.
be in this scorching hot weather.
Amy, I know you have to tape with Tommy, so I'm going to let you go. Tommy's already there's a running bit on the show that Tommy does not like doing the pregame show with me. He does not like doing the pregame show.
Tommy hates Solana. He does
Tommy,
not
can you hear
dislike
me?
him.
Can you hear me? Oh, he does. He can't hear us right now.
We'll
find out.
I think he can.
No, he can't. It's all right. We'll figure it out. Amy has to go tape with Tommy. Amy, thank you so much for coming up here. I
No,
appreciate it.
thank you for having this super important conversation.
Yeah,
that
that
was
is your
a
15
little
minutes
bit
of heat,
too-
by the way.
A little too serious for my liking, but fine.
Yes. Amy Audibert, she'll be on the call with us tonight. Of course, a FanDuel Sports Network Sun for road games as well. Amy, talk to you in a bit.